Hello. I am here briefly because I want to share how hard it is to homeschool your child. Um, I saw this video of this guy. I can't even remember his name, but I think his son name is oh Jesus right now, and I can't even remember the son name. But anywho, I saw this guy about two years ago. I think it was in his video. He was talking about maybe 3 years ago. And he was talking about how hard it was to homeschool his children because he was talking about how he was just like, man, you gotta be the teacher, you gotta be the lunch person, the gym person. He was just like, man, I give up. Like he said, I only been doing it for 2 weeks. I laughed so hard because I was already like 2, 3 years in when I saw this video of homeschooling. But today it was on my mind to share that this is the hard part. The hard part is you have to know when to have your mom hat on and when to take the mom hat off. To have the teacher hat, right? So you have to play all these different roles. And that's just like I've learned that when people, actors, when they are playing certain characters, that they have to de-role. And the reason that they have to de-role is because our mind is a very powerful thing the way God created us. So if we are playing this role and, for the actors and they don't debunk from some of these roles, this can start to play out in their mind and in their life subconsciously, right? So they have to de-roll. So this is the same that we have to do when you're homeschooling, that I'm figuring out and learning, which I've seen this, but it was hard for me to take on those different roles because I was constantly in mom mode, and my mom mode would make me so frustrated, to be very honest. Like, this is really teaching me patience, because I'm gonna tell you the truth, I wasn't always a very patient person. But with homeschooling my son, I am learning patience with him, okay? And this is the role that I had to play. I had to play counselor with him today. And a lot of times I have to do that because my son is on a spectrum. And I see that he's very smart. You can show my son something once and he pick up on it. But the thing is, for him to keep repeating that thing back and forth to you, he's not going to be able to do that. First of all, he's going to get frustrated. Now, if you maybe wait a couple of hours or maybe a day, he can then repeat that thing. But I'm trying to get him, in the habit of remembering, and getting out of that frustration mode, because we all know the anger clouds our mind, right? So let me go on to, we was doing an assignment today, and the writing assignment went smoothly. But as we went to the grammar assignment, now in the grammar, he has to use a lot more of his thinking skills, right? Critical thinking at that. So I noticed that a lot of times when we go to the grammar, he does things to start sabotaging, you know, the atmosphere in which we have. Like, we will start off with a very calm atmosphere, very, everything is going fine, not to say fine as in he's getting everything correct, but the attitude, right? So what he starts to do is have the attitude so that I can then get an attitude, and then I can say, hey, we're not going to do this assignment anymore. But since I've caught on to that and realized that this is what he's doing to sabotage the work, and so that I can stop, that I had to learn to calm myself down. Even though I may, be in that pushy mode, because I know with my son, if I don't push him, he won't do it. He like, ooh, thank you. She didn't stopped. But I know that I have to get in a mode, which is that counselor mode, where I then am making him aware of his emotions at the same time of me putting on that mom hat, saying, hey, you gotta be calm, mom. You gotta, nurture him along. So I got the mom hat on and I got the counselor hat, making him aware of his emotion and what he's doing. And as he become more aware of what he's doing, then I see him like calm down. It's like he starts to just, let his self go, knowing like, I am doing this. So, and I had to share this because I know this is not just me. And it is not even just, moms that are on the spectrum, like kids that are not on the spectrum or don't have a disability. They will go through this. You know what I'm saying? Because we're human. And none of us, even as grown adults, there may be things that we don't like. And guess what? We may get an attitude and we doing it like grudgingly, like, Instead it's like, look, you got to do it. So just go ahead and do it. So this is what I'm, trying to teach him is to don't allow the anger and the frustration to rule over you, because then you stop yourself from learning. You stop yourself from going forward, because anger will cloud your thoughts. Frustration will cloud your mind. It will block you, from going forward. Yeah, we know you don't want to do it, but don't let those emotions stop you, because it will. So what I'm learning is to, when I put on that hat, if I have to put on the counselor hat, encourage him, push him, make him aware, then put on that mom hat to, love on him, nurture him, to give him the patience, the same as I'm learning to have patience. And then it's like, then we can, go back on that smooth path, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, you let the frustration go. You're not trying to sabotage the assignment today. Okay, we can move right on along. And then it's like, once we get through all of that, which is almost like we have all these big, balls of emotions sometimes for all of us, whether a child, adult, and it's like, how do we get through all of this? Taking each step, taking each emotion, each situation, and handling it one at a time. And that's the same as what I say right now with the different hats. I have to take each hat, deal with that particular situation that I'm dealing with. He trying to be in the video. Because I took a break just to make this video. I had to say this right now, and hoping that it helps someone, because I was extremely, like, give it a couple of years ago, oh, I would get so mad with him, like, I know you can do this. But what I was doing also too was giving in to him and his attitude that he would throw up, and I would just say, okay, forget it. Well, this year I said, wait a minute. I said, if I can, go to work with a set schedule, everything, I'm going to somebody else's job to do their work. This is my job that God has given to me to teach my son. Okay. This wasn't just, a thought that just flew out there, because I ain't never want to homeschool my child. Truly, I didn't. It's just like, with all all of his challenges, I didn't think that I can do it. Well, thank God for the strength, because I'm doing it and learning at the same time, learning something about me, learning something about my son. And to tell you the truth, in all of that, it is a beautiful place to be learning about yourself, to be learning about your children, and to seeing that, things isn't always going to go our way as a parent. Things isn't going to, that we think is right, may not be right for our child. And there are times that my son is teaching me things, that I'm just like, so it's not all about us. We all learn from each other, old, young, middle age, it doesn't matter. So yeah, you guys, I just wanted to share that really quick, that homeschool is not easy, and we have to wear those different hats. PE teacher, counselor, mother, teacher. You got to know which hat to walk in, which hats to put down. So I'm hoping that this is, confirmation. I hope that it's also something a little, that makes somebody even smile, to be like, dang, I'm going through the same thing. I'm happy that it's not just me, because I know at one point when I first started homeschooling, and the frustration that I felt, it felt like it was just me. For real. It's like, oh, why am I so frustrated? It's just like, oh, you're not a good mom. You just totally you ain't supposed to be frustrated. That's what I had in my mind, until I saw this one guy that was homeschooling his sons. And I just had to laugh. Oh, I think his name, Easy. Essie. It's like an African name or something, but the way he man, I laughed so hard at him, because I thought maybe he was going to say that he was homeschooling his children for like a couple of years, but he was like, I give up. And it was only 2 weeks. I found that so hilarious. So, all right, you guys, I got to finish doing my work. You all have a blessed day. Bye.